What do you need? This is a prison, not a museum. We don't admire here. We punish. At least, that's what they tell me to say. I'm supposed to be intimidating. Grrr. So the prisoners are scared of me. Hello. Anything? Usually, it's nothing but interesting folks. I'm telling you, in these crazy times, every one of them comes in with some wild tale. But right now, quiet as can be. Good thing I've got my books. All my adventures are in there these days. Because I am. I asked for this post. Just to get some peace, quiet, and warmth. No useless small talk. No shrieking seagulls, and none of that cursed biting wind. I'm telling you, it's heaven. And I get to read my books too. So if you've got anything interesting, I'd be glad to trade.
Who are you? What do you want? I don't recognize your face. I am. They told me it's for my safety, and the safety of others. I don't like it. The keep is supposed to be my home, and yet here I am, locked in a damn jail. That cursed madman from the refugee group bit me. I think his name is Cole. The boys told me he's locked up in a cage now. Good. That's the proper place for animals like him. By the All-Mother, if I'd known he was carrying some foul disease, I wouldn't have gone near them. He's just mad. I told the others the group of refugees would bring no good here. And as you can see, I wasn't wrong. Cursed bastards. Damned if I know. Whenever I've had a fever or cold before, I could always explain it. But this, I can't find the words. Sometimes it feels like I'm fading away. Like the part of me that makes me who I am is disappearing. I don't know how to describe it. And there's a voice at times. It calls to me. Each night it draws nearer. Like a dreadful howl. Not at all human, that's for sure. At times, I hear our words within it. But more often, it's like a noise from deep within the bowels of the earth. Like something very wicked. The medic and that red priest both came to see me. Both shrugged, offering no cure. Heber says I should wait. But if you've got anything stronger to drink, I wouldn't say no. It might ease the pain. Even just for a little. Thanks. That's really nice of you. Hold fast, and steer clear of those strangers.
Good day. Safe travel.
Oi, friend. A question. Do you know why people always stop and watch a blacksmith at work? Because he's riveting. It's good to see a new face in this sad hole.
Oh, of course. I forgot to introduce myself. I'm Osbert, local master of hammers and anvils. Do you need your blade sharpened?
Ha! Friend, I wish. But the only task I could use help with might be a bit too delicate for you to handle.
Unless you're a master goldsmith, then feel free to prove it. And I'll have work for you immediately. There's just not enough of them to go around. And now that we're on lockdown, there's not much demand for my services either. Listen, I said I don't have any jobs, as in things I pay you for doing. That doesn't mean I can't teach you a thing or two. If you're willing to learn, that is. Since you're free to wander about while I'm stuck in the keep, maybe we can make good use of that. You've probably bashed in the skull of a beast or two, right? The alchemists. They're likely snatching up the corpses, using the muck to cook their weird concoctions. But perhaps you'd rather craft yourself some armor from those hides, huh? We should start with something simple. Let's see. I'll give you some notes on how to make armor. You gather the materials and get to work. And when you're done, you can bring it over so I can see what you've made. Not really. Especially since we went into a lockdown a while ago. People used to come and go. Now and then a ship would make a stop at the village below, but nobody's really come around since. Well, since the entire shit show that's going down everywhere. Now that I think of it, you're the first they've let in. What'd you do? Who did you bribe? Oh, so you have friends in Camelot. Good for you. Of course I do. Those pins are peak craftsmanship, and very rare at that. We only gave them out on Camelot's orders. But when I look at you, well, it's pretty obvious you wouldn't be able to beat a knight. And even if you found one already dead, you'd sooner nick his armor than a pin you knew nothing about. Either way, good for you. Sometimes I wonder, how many things can go wrong at the same time. They say that misery loves company, but here, it's like we've done something to anger the gods, and they're taking their sweet revenge. First, we started hearing that the weirdness was spreading near Grubwood. Soon after that, we saw waves of bandits approaching from there. Desperate people,
It took a lot of our territory. Then, the Del Rita tribes took over the All-Mother's Temple. And after that, the supply chains from Camelot collapsed for some reason. And so on and so forth. We're in quite a pickle, my friend. We've started betting on what's going to happen next. Sea monsters? Who knows? Yes, that damn forest north of here was already cursed and creepy. But now, I've heard it's an entirely different level of crazy. They say that some men here started going dark up north. With that, the weirdness started moving. And when the weirdness gets here, well, we're fucked. But you know that. Every child has heard the stories. Truth be told, most of them are just people desperate to survive. When the villagers started dying out because of the weirdness, hunger, or raids, they lost their livelihoods, ended up with nothing to their names, and nowhere to go. So they banded together and started raiding whatever was left. Then they turned to killing each other. They're like rabid wolves. Too bad they're here now, too. I don't know. It's hard to explain. They kept to themselves, perched in the mountains near the Forlorn Swords. Then something happened, and suddenly we saw ships arriving near our eastern shores. A couple days later, the tribes took over. One good thing is that the bandits aren't up to fighting with them. One bad thing, we aren't either. I heard that Dew fell down the stairs and didn't break a single bone. So that's a start. Other than that, no, I can't think of anything. Yeah, after we lost 2 squads trying to take back the All-Mother's Temple from the Dal Rita, our captain decided that nobody leaves the Horns. Then, he shut himself in his office, without leaving us any orders. Feargus is trying to keep the lads occupied, but... just look around. Half of the people here are losing their minds, and the rest are losing their wages on drink.
Oh, a new face. It's always nice to see someone new here. Welcome, welcome. Why didn't I notice you earlier? Yes, my apologies. Ever since breakfast today, I've been sort of lost in thought. I keep thinking of my dear mother's cooking, especially her famous pie. You see, all we got here is venison and fish. Venison, then fish. And then fish, fish, and more fish. I can live with all the bullshit that's thrown at us soldiers. But the longer I live, the more I realize there's not much to live for, except food. And I'd kill for a slice of that pie. As if it were that easy. I ain't much of a cook. And Rorik, the one we have here, well, he says we're soldiers, so we can stick our complaints up our asses. Really? Sure, I remember it well. Here you go. Yes. Still tastes like shit. Exactly how my mother would make it. It's just what I needed. Oh, don't get me wrong. I really appreciate what you did for me. It's just that every time I doubt my service in the Horns of the South, I need a reminder of why I enlisted. My mother wasn't much of anything, to tell the truth. She always said I was good for nothing and that I should be glad she even kept me. And every day she'd bring back home a new uncle. Many of those uncles like to kick me out of my own house when they were drinking and getting busy. Then, when she'd sober up and got rid of an uncle, she'd bake me that pie as an apology. It always tasted like shit. If the other villagers hadn't been feeding me, I would have starved to death. Hence the pie. Yeah, I do. So, despite the shitty weather and the world being on the verge of collapse, there's still nowhere else I'd rather be.
All mother's tits. I've just about had it with this bunch of repressed virgins. And who might you be? You don't look like one of them. Oh, do I now? You would be too if you had to deal with those sniveling morons when they're up to something. Don't look at me like that. You don't get as far in life as I have if you can't smell bullshit from a mile away. There's something fishy going on here. But I'll get to the bottom of it. And here's a brilliant idea. You're going to help me. Straight to the point, huh? Don't worry, I'll pay you. And who knows, you might even get a discount on my wares. I just need you to go to Brandon and find out why that slime ball is pretending not to know I'm here. Tell him I'm waiting with his delivery. Although I'm pretty sure he knows this already. Right. What was I thinking? You wouldn't. You're new here, right? Shit. There's something going on, you know? They don't want anybody to know, but I can feel it. I've been doing business with the captain for years now. Then suddenly I found myself stuck here. They won't let me further in, not even to set up camp in the village. But they won't let me out either. Anyway, good luck to you. Come and visit if you need anything. You do realize you won't score any points with the Keepers by helping me, right? Those holier-than-thou soldier boys have no idea what it takes to be a merchant in this sorry world. The things we have to do sometimes aren't exactly done according to the rulebook. There's a woman from the tribes called Nest. She's my supplier. At least, I think she's still working for me. I haven't heard from her in a while, and she was supposed to bring me some really precious cargo. Something the captain wanted me to arrange. You still up for an adventure, My guess, and it's only a guess, is that at some point she must have been somewhere around the bay. That beach near the Whale's Tooth. Rumor has it that Bromar No-Face and his thugs are fond of that place, which wouldn't be good news for Nest. Good luck, and don't worry, I'll pay. No matter whether she's dead or alive. Just let me know what happened, And bring back the cargo, if she still has it. Oh, love, plenty. And almost none of them happy. I'll never forget the first time we stumbled upon a place after a cloud of the weirdness oozed through. It was a small settlement, just a few houses. There was this odd, bitter taste in the air. The place was completely abandoned. Or so we thought. Until we started finding them, one by one. A man who tried to chop off his legs after they started sprouting antlers. Another one who gouged his eyes out, so he wouldn't have to look at his child melting into the floor. A woman in the farthest corner of the settlement managed to stab herself in the heart before it got to her. I almost dropped it all and ran back to Timberwall that day. I'm still not sure why I didn't. I guess giving up just isn't in my nature. Name's Orla. I'm a merchant. Or I try to be, when my business isn't being held hostage by a bunch of idiots who seem to be terrified of women. What was I thinking when I decided to leave Timberwall? Should have stayed there. You've never been to the merchant capital? Well, you didn't miss much. Yes, it's rich and extravagant, but only if you're rich and extravagant, too. Other than that, it's a place like any other. The same pain and misery hiding behind gilded walls. It's not as exciting as people think. Or, well, maybe it is, if you like living with a bunch of backstabbing crooks. Yeah, now I remember what I was thinking when I left that place. Not really. It's more of a requirement if you ever want to be successful in Timberwall. My family is full of them. I have no home in Timberwall. Well, we have an estate, but it hasn't felt like home for a long time. I feel like every time I go back, I recognize it less and less. The people are getting greedier and more desperate by the day. Business is slow, I'm not gonna lie. With the weirdness creeping in from the north and bandits everywhere, trade's just not as profitable as it used to be. But, I don't know. Being a merchant from Timberwall used to mean craftiness, taking risks, looking for opportunities. Now, they only care about keeping their heads down and preserving their fortunes. Well, off you go.
Let me guess. Camelot, no? Timberwall, also no? So you're not from the north? Ah, of course.
You must be from Quanacht. I should have guessed right away. So, who's in charge there now? Nowhere? Never heard about it. Must be a shithole like no other. And I think I won't learn much about politics from you.
You know, people are talking about rising unrest in the north, and a secret coalition preparing a coup at the highest levels of power. And that whole plague thing is just a tool to reach their final goal. The Red Priests are also trying to get something out of it.
And to be honest, it's not gone too bad for them. The Druids are out of the picture already.
Well, sure. They want to establish a new order on our island. And it's not clear who's involved in the whole mess.
Maybe. Maybe our captain is even involved. Hell knows. They have their people everywhere. Damn it, you could be one of them too. Although when I look at you, I don't think so. You have such a stupid face. With all due respect, of course.
That's the case. Those sons of bitches are good at hiding. They kinda blend in and live among us. It's hard to tell if it's hideous magic or some other tricks. You see? It takes one to know one. And that means we're just pawns. Folks like us won't change anything. But we have to talk out loud. It suits them when everyone keeps their mouth shut.
Wait a minute. I'm not suggesting anything here. I'm just thinking out loud.
It doesn't make sense that the plague appeared just like that. Out of bloody nowhere? Hell no. It's a high-stakes game.
Power over us, of course. Over our bodies and souls. Over Avalon. Over the whole damn course of history. You know, I've been thinking lately. What if King Arthur is just a stupid fairy tale? What if the nobles and others involved in the whole conspiracy just made him up? And us peasants eventually just started to believe in it.
You know, one story for everyone. They drilled it into our heads, and drilled until it finally stuck. And then they built statues, wrote books, and everything else.
Yeah? Don't tell me you're one of those fools that think that the All-Mother exists. Have you ever seen her? How do you know that we're not being lied to?
Exactly. But maybe one day you'll see the truth.
Welcome! In the name of our eternally reigning Majesty King Arthur and the Knights of the Round Tables, I am obliged to inform you that fighting those who actively break the law and reject the rule of the crown is the duty and pride of every subject. As Camelot's representative, I will be paying a bounty of 10 gold pieces for the death of each bandit roving the area, as long as adequate proof is provided. I also recommend checking the bounty board for information on wanted criminals, especially those considered particularly dangerous. Please, state your business. Really? You fought bandits and killed them? Oh, I want to hear all the details. Here's your reward, but promise you'll tell me everything. Again? You really like killing, don't you? Do you shoot them with arrows from afar, or do you prefer to get right up close and watch the light fade from their eyes? I have so many questions, but for now, here's your reward. Incredible! You're a born killer, aren't you? Instead of just taking out bandit scum, how about hunting something bigger? There's an ogre, a really nasty son of a bitch, holed up in a nearby brook. I've heard that one swing of his hammer can turn a bear into a bloodbath. As you can imagine, the keepers aren't too keen on dealing with him, even though the ogre roams just off the main road to the north. When Galahad arrives, he certainly won't be pleased. If by some miracle you manage to kill it, you'll earn Camelot's gratitude and a hefty reward. Bring me the ogre's shiny eye as proof of the kill. The brook is right off the King's Road. Here, I'll mark it on your map. Again, you really like killing, don't you? Oh, someone finally checked out the notices I was posting on the board. That's the carcass of Fingerless Comb, isn't it? They've been hunting him for the slaughter of 2 keepers, and now they finally got him. Well, you have. Here's your reward. Do you keep bandits' fingers as trophies? I would. Go chop off some heads. That's correct. My name is Killian. I was sent here from the capital to see how the Horns of the South are handling the bandit problem, and also to encourage the keepers to fight. The situation with the Pict and Del Rita savages is precarious. Too bad we can't get rid of them as easily as we did the Druids. There have also been rumors that we might soon have a civil war on our hands, so Camelot cannot afford to spread our forces too thin. There are rumors that the Rita tribes want to unite, and that would mean open war with Camelot. As for those Pict savages, they've been growing bold, leaving their forest. For now, it's just been small scrimmages, but who knows how it'll end. Well, you've probably heard about the Druids making human sacrifices by stuffing people into wicker puppets and setting them on fire. Well, the people decided to give them a taste of their own medicine. They rounded them all up, and then sent them up in smoke. Oh, how they must have howled and sizzled. Too bad I couldn't see it. Yep, made human sacrifices, prayed to the dark gods, brought the weirdness back. Bunch of bastards. Good thing they're worm food now. Most of them, the survivors have supposedly taken refuge with savages in the woods, and one of them is rumored to be hiding in the Horns area. But whether that was before or after the Charred Conclave, I don't know. Would you like to hear about him? His name was Slaudyard. He was lurking near Blood Lake, a small pond where they used to throw the bodies of executed convicts. They say he would fish them out and use his magic to turn them into undead monsters. Supposedly, he started needing some fresher corpses, so he slaughtered one of the keepers. The Horns organized a manhunt. They found him and sentenced him to death. People say that the moment his body touched the surface of Blood Lake, the water turned red and it's been scarred since that day. Some say that Slaudyard came back from the dead and seeks revenge. But if you ask me, it's just a tale by local simpletons. I don't really have much more to tell. It's hard to get any updates here. I only know that the new Lancelot has not been very popular, and that's putting it mildly. The Witch Morgane would have been burnt at the stake long ago if everyone weren't so afraid of her. And then we have the commoners who seem to keep forgetting their place, and loudly demanding changes. Everything is falling apart. None so far. The keepers don't want to risk being turned into pincushions for a mere 10 gold pieces. Besides, the captain banned them from leaving the Horns of the South without a good reason. Too many bandits and not enough keepers. Well, Camelot would send a group of knights with Sir Galahad at the head, and he's not interested in half measures. He'd probably burn down half the garrison, or hang them. He's done both. By the way, did you know that people who are hanged rarely die from strangulation? Usually the sudden jolt causes the backbone to snap, which separates the head from the body. A while ago, I saw someone hanged in the village, and it's true. One snap, and it's done. No matter what you say about him, he's very efficient. Brutal, even by my standards, but efficient. Oh, sure, plenty. Did you know that apparently if you cut off someone's head, they don't die straight away, but remain conscious for a few moments? Oh, hey, before you go, I can see the bloodlust in your eyes, you know. It takes one to know one. So here's some friendly advice, free of charge. If you're seeking scum to slay, you'll find bandits in the ruins of a merchant settlement nearby. It's worth visiting if you haven't already.